My name is Mami Fua. I am a Ghanaian. Les week-ends à Bakechi sont très intéressants.
Bonjour les chers spectateurs, bienvenue sur Enfrenched, My Journey with French. Comme vous le savez déjà, je m'appelle Madame Mohamina Dapa et je suis votre animatrice, je suis vivante et je suis entrepreneur et la fondatrice d'Achievers Success Hub. Hello everybody and welcome to Enfrenched, My Journey with French. As you know already, my name is Madame Wilma and I am your host on this show. Today, oh my goodness, I am excited. I am excited because I've seen my Takrade sister. My Takrade sister, whom I only meet whenever there's an event at the embassy. Anytime I go there, if I've not seen her, I don't leave. I just cannot leave without seeing her. So I'm so excited to host here today Mademoiselle Esther Clare Attionu, who has been a project officer at the French Embassy in Ghana for the past 3 years. Listen, when I do the introduction, I feel like I don't exhaust it. So I will pass it on to her. I'll allow her to do a full introduction and let you know what she has done or is doing with the French language. Bienvenue, Esther.
Merci, Madame Wilma. Bonjour à toi. Merci. C'est Esther Clare Attionu. Je suis coordinatrice des projets. Et là, j'ai travaillé à l'ambassade de France au Ghana pendant 3 ans. My name is Esther Clare Attionu. I am a project officer or project coordinator. I have worked at the Embassy of France in Ghana for the past 3 years. J'ai eu mon diplôme de français et linguistique à l'Université du Ghana. Je possède aussi Masters in Business Administration.
Wow.
Du coup, je travaille aussi à Takrade, mais là, ce n'est pas officiel. C'est un business des tissus, des vêtements, des chaussures, des produits de la mode. Et ce que je peux dire aussi, c'est que je me débrouille de temps en temps sur des travaux de communication, comme media works, des, comme on dit en anglais, MCing, hosting et d'autres choses. Ça suffit? Alors, ça c'est Esther Clare Attionu. Et là, tu peux m'appeler Esclair tout simplement.
Esclair. Hey, Esclair.
Esther Clare, c'est un nom composé, je le compresse. Esclair. C'est
Esclair.
chic, non?
J'adore Esclair. Okay, so now that you've can you say all of that in English for those who don't understand it?
Okay, if I can remember all the points. So I hold an MBA, a master's in business administration and project management specifically. And I own a business on the side. I sell fabrics, clothing, shoes, bags, and other accessories, fashion accessories. And I also, from time to time, I'm into communication and media production with some production houses where I do MCing, program hosting, etc.
Okay, wow. Both hosting. All right, so definitely, I'm going to ask you what I'm going to ask you next. Has the French language helped you in your professional journey? If yes, how has it helped you?
Thank you for that question. The French language has really helped me. So it's a big YES. a big yes to that. So much in several ways that I couldn't even imagine. And this is very, very interesting because from the beginning, that's during studies in the university, a lot of people were skeptical about my combination of courses. Likewise, some of my colleagues, and we had similar concerns because French, what has to do with French and linguistics? They are all so broad and vague and nothing really specific.
Yeah.
But at the end of my education, I realized that French had become a very good tool for me. And even before I myself could realize, others were like, oh, you can speak French. Okay, then perhaps we can do this. Perhaps you can do that. Perhaps this and that. And then I got an eye opening, like, okay, so this French is really going to be good after all. It positioned me in very, very strategic ways that I could not myself ever dream about. And that is how, after working at the museum, Ghana Museums and Monuments Board for a year, I landed a job at the Embassy of France. And even at the museum, the French was a good leverage for me because we had visitors coming in from time to time who could not all speak French because there were different nationals, but there were French speakers as well. And it was easy for me to interact with them casually in French so they could get better understanding of their tour at the museum. And the board of directors all the time would point me out. Okay, for Esther Clare, because she can speak French, so it's always the beginning of the whatever point that they want to make. So they position me at strategic points because she can speak French, and then some of my colleagues will be added, where we'll be stationed, where we'll be positioned, and all that. Fast forward at the French embassy, my French background, I would say, after God, was the next thing because when I got invited for my interview, the impression was that, but you speak French, right? And that I said, yes, I do. So we had a little interaction in French. And then whatever role I was going to play, just because of that French aspect, I was in. And they thought that, or they believed, and they were confident that, okay, the lady can go in for the position actually. So it's a yes for me. The French has been really good. It's been a great journey. And even now, I get people going into my LinkedIn profile and always come back to me in my DM, private messaging me that, oh, you are into French, this, that. I just realized we're from the French embassy. You have a French background, and can you help us with this and that? Would you consider an opportunity? So I have too many meats in my soups that sometimes I have to be choosy, very selective.
Right?
Yeah, so this is how far I have come, and by the grace of God, this French, learning of French speaking, has been of great benefit to me.
Wow. 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 Just add to what you just said. It's actually pointed out two main things that you said in previous interviews. The first one,
Okay.
the fact that if you go to an interview and say you speak French, you
Yeah.
should need to speak it out. You may have the certificate, but they're not going to ask you to write French. They're going to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
So your number one proof of your French proficiency is your ability to speak when asked about it. So don't you think people shouldn't think that I'll just write on my CV that I have French proficiency? No. Once you put it there, remember that it's going to be tested. It is definitely going to be tested. We don't be deceived by some of those comedy shows that show that, oh, you and then they come and realize your French was fake. No, for this one, in the interview room, you're gonna have to prove it. And if you cannot sell yourself, or if you cannot speak it there, it shows that definitely you're not ready. And also the fact that because of your French at the museum, you were placed at strategic positions. Exactly, because you're going to meet people from different countries. And so you should be able to have the international language or international languages that will let you be able to communicate with all these people, which makes French an extra, a plus. All the other colleagues could speak English, but why were you being put in strategic positions? Because of the French. So really, it did make a difference, and it does make a difference. So for all of you who kept telling us that French is the better thing, someone those of you kept telling us that we'll not do anything with the French. Now you see what French is doing, and that is what this show is all about. Proving to you that French has helped people. So if in this day and age you are still doing what we do in French, what we do in French, you should know that you are really missing out on a big deal. I saw on LinkedIn somebody posted he had a very good job opportunity in Canada or something like that. Everything went through. Then finally got to a point where the person asked if he could speak French. He said no. And he said no. His department is fully francophone. If you cannot speak the French, then we cannot employ you. So no matter how skilled you are, no matter how qualified you are, there are some extra opportunities that come with being able to speak the French. You'll be able to get some access that any other person cannot have. So just as she said, just English and linguistics, you think nothing can be done with that. You just have to add something to it. And then here she is going places and then working with the embassy and all, right? And then you spoke about opportunities, people coming into your inbox with opportunities. That is, I've said this several times. If you speak French, you don't even go searching for the opportunities. The opportunities come hunting for you. People come chasing us, and we have to
100% agree with you. Yes.
You may think it's a lie until you've experienced it. For all the people who came on, them have said it. And I've experienced it. People literally call me and then somebody recommended, I need you to come. They're like, oh, we'll pay you this and this and this. We really need you. Come. I said, no, what I'm doing, this is the path I've chosen and I want to be here. So people who are speaking French are being begged to join companies. So really, if you're not speaking French, you should yourself a favor at all. If you're a parent listening or watching, please, that should also tell you that let your child learn French. French is a skill. That is what I tell people. It's a skill. It's no longer more like it's no longer a language or a subject. You don't call it a subject. Yeah, it's a language, but it's not a subject. No, it's a skill, an added skill, right? So please, parents, make sure your children are learning French. Now to the next question: how did you learn French? Your French, the day they are how did you learn it? Because are you not a Ghanaian?
Oh, Madam Wilma. Okay. So as I said, I am a Ghanaian. And okay, how do I prove that I'm a Ghanaian? Should I show my Ghana card, my birth cert? So I speak fancy.
Language.
I speak fancy. Make her fancy. And it's Takrade fancy, you know. On our side here we say Tadi fancy. To make a fancy. Each day me fancy. Me mama ewe and banda and me papa fancy and ewe. You see the blend I have. I'm a pure Ghanaian. Yes. So and I have lived in Takrade all my life. Even though I schooled in Accra for some years, about 4 years at the University of Ghana. And then I did my national service also in Accra. And I've lived outside Ghana too for some years, but still, Ghana is my home because I was born and bred here. And Takrade is where I come from and roamed a few places in Ghana as well. My studies started from the university. Okay, let me go all the way back. It's actually started from junior high school. I didn't get the privilege to start learning from the very basic, like these days in KG or class 1, some schools start the learning of French. I never had any experience with French until I got to junior high school, Form 1, that's JHS 1. And it all came in as a surprise. So you have to start from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, Asha. What? Where are we going with this? But the interesting thing for me was that when I realized that I was going to start learning French, that time as a subject or as a course in school, we're always thinking about making grades. I had this interest in learning by myself. So I started learning by myself from reading books that my senior brother had. And of course, we all being Ghanaians, we weren't so much enthused. So my brother had his book around the house. I would go for these books and be flipping pages and be reading by myself. I didn't know anything about the phonetics or phonics, pronunciations, meanings, nothing. I would just pronounce the words just as I see them. If it's A and B, I say up. I don't know if there's supposed to be silent word, silent sounds here, there. I just read them as I could read them. And by that, I personalized the love for French. And I didn't care if I was making mistakes or I was doing good or bad, whatever. I would just read them out, make noises in the house, teaching myself French, reading by myself. So in junior high school, the love wasn't so much. It built up little by little. It was just regular. So my focus was on making the grades. I didn't want to have bad grades just to make it through school. And then in senior high school, the love became more. And I love the fact that our French instructor would take us through songs in French. I love to sing in French. I love to say poems because I'm a poetic person myself. I love poems in French. For example, we had this Femme Africaine. I still remember about 3 or 4 stanzas. I remember every single word in that poem. Madame Femme Africaine. And then Madame La Tortue. I remember all my songs, especially the love songs. Oh my God. And so, aside from academic aspects, I grew the love for French on the side very casually through songs and poems. And then after that, at the university level, it became tougher. And the interest or the edge to rather make grades than to speak them became more. So I almost drifted from the lab until I had a year abroad experience in France. And that was a very, very pivotal point for me. In class, I had to mimic my lecturers. They would come to class and then I had I had this, well, I don't want to put it in a bad way, but for the good of it, all my colleagues in class knew that I would give the intro for the lecture before they even themselves would give their usual intro. For instance, we had this, I forgot her name, is it Aurelie? Yes. Aurelie would come to class and her first word always, after flipping through her books, her personal bag, bringing out her teaching material, she turns towards the class and she goes like, hello. So all the time I say hello before she says the hello. By the time she would turn to say hello, I have already done hello. And the whole class would be, laughing undertone a little. For the other lectures as well, I would go like, okay, on G. There are some of them who come to class and they're like, tout le monde va bien. Others would go like, ça va class? I would mimic all of them, both male and female lecturers. And the tone I would do that with, it would make you laugh. Yes. So it was for fun. And little by little, I got this. And from town as well, also, I mean, in public, I often heard people doing pardon, pardon, pardon. Like, what is pardon? Everybody says pardon, pardon, pardon. And then I realized that they were for different instances. Someone would say pardon to mean, I'm sorry, maybe they stepped on your feet or their body hates you in some way. Others still want to hear you clearly because you're not a very good French speaker. You say something and they're like, pardon, just to hear it a second time to be clear. And the funny aspect of it, the pardon was not always pardon, pardon, pardon. Sometimes it was pardon, pardon, and then other times, pardon. I'm like, okay, so this is getting really interesting. And the cultural aspect too also helped me a lot because the year abroad was in France and in the city of Nantes. And the city of Nantes also had a lot of students, and all of them from not all of them, a good percentage of them being international students were also doing French practices here and there, trying to assimilate the language and the culture. So it was a very great experience for me. And that's how I learned French. I intentionally chose French and linguistics at the university. And then on and on and on, I've gone through the system and here I am today.
No,
Speaking with
sorry,
just Madam Wilma, the CEO of Achieve Success Hub. And I'm happy to be with you.
I'm honored. I'm honored to have you here. I've enjoyed it. You just made me realize when I'm teaching, I have to let people know all of that because the pardon have different, meanings based on how it's said. Pardon, pardon, pardon. I've added my own pardon. All right. So, and then I love the fact that you mentioned that at the university it became tougher because it happened to me. I always tell people that French was personally, I've loved French from childhood. So it was more like I call it a hobby, an appetizer. Like when I'm learning other subjects and I'm tired, like I feel bored learning those subjects, I just have to go and take my French book. I learn it and I'm motivated to learn more. If I'm learning another subject and it's kind of confusing and I'm feeling frustrated, I just have to take French. I start learning it and I'm okay. And it's any no matter what subjects I learned, on my timetable, I didn't have French as a subject. I had it for every day. After learning every subject, I finished with French. After learning every subject, I finished with French. So now imagine somebody like that. I go to the university and I meet the French. People are speaking French from day one. Those who went to Mount Mary's, those people can worry. They come university first year. Be speaking the French and you being there. So I became frustrated, like I'm in the same class with these people. Really? I thought I was a French child. Like, no, but I cannot even hear what they said. And they were frustrated us. And apart from that, the things that we started learning, it was just so difficult. I remember going to hide in a study room and crying so hard, like, oh, I cannot continue with the French. But I believe in God and I believe in prayer too. So I started praying about it. I said, God, I've loved French all my life, but at this point, I want to give up. This is not fun anymore. Please help me. Help me to understand what they are learning. Otherwise, I may have to give up on French. Gradually, it became better and we picked on. So, just for everybody watching, when adults come to my class and it gets to that difficult part, that is when they leave. But that is also where the breakthrough is. It's at that point, it's your mindset and your willingness to continue. That is where your turning point will be. If you just give up, oh, it's tough, let me just give up. That's it. But if you're able to cross that bridge, that is where the fluency comes in. And also, I like the fact that you mentioned the year abroad. For everybody who has come here, they've mentioned that the language immersion really helps. Language is immersion, like being able to visit a country where they speak it. It's one of the fastest way of learning it. However, even if you don't go there and you are in Ghana, there are so many ways that you can immerse yourself in. And that is what Achievers Success Hub has been promoting. Videos, songs, so many things. Just to, some of my students that I'm teaching, the children, they've not gone to France before. They've not gone anywhere, but they can speak their French. Some of the adults who came and were from the start, they are able to pick it. It's all about how you are taught. But we cannot underestimate the immense impact that the year abroad has had on those of us who went. And some who came here also said the same thing. It was the turning point, and it was the turning point as well for me, where you are forced to speak the language. So when you are learning French, you get to a point where you are forced to speak the language because you have no choice. You only have to speak it, right? So viewers out there, just know that if you get to a point where you are forced to speak the language, it's part of the process. We all went through it. And thanks to that, today we are able to speak it. Okay. So having worked at the embassy and personally also having come into contact with the embassy and seeing all the wonderful things that the embassy is doing in Ghana. I want you to tell us, I want you to tell our viewers, what are some of the opportunities for the embassy, or what are some of the organizations that the embassy has? My favorite is Campus France. My favorite is Campus
I
France.
know, right? Okay. So,
Tell us all that we need to know about the institutions under the.
okay. Aside Campus France, all right. So, the question is about my experience with the French embassy, and then what's the kind of opportunities that the embassy presents to Ghanaians, and then some of the agencies and institutions. My experience with the French embassy has been super, super awesome. The French will say super, really, 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 really awesome. I have had the opportunity to meet wonderful people, not to talk of the ambassadors, the number of ambassadors, meeting with European Union missionaries and other officials, very important people in Ghana, from university campuses, from CSOs, from other government agencies. I just can't finish the list. And my phone contacts is flooded with these. And it's prestigious, of course, because if you have these people calling you here and there, asking for help and assistance, as small or big as I am, I don't even know how to put it. But this is just one of them. So the opportunities that come are networking opportunities, job opportunities, and of course, if you're able to network with some of these people and they get to know the caliber of person you are, the profile, and there are other opportunities that are outside of their companies or institutions or agencies, it's likely that they can link you up. You are available and up for it and ready. So networking is one. The exposure, the international exposure is two. The cultural experience. It's multicultural, not just cultural, multicultural environment. Working at the embassy presents you with that. Already you can tell the kind of aura. A lot of people ask me, so how do you feel when you are in the office? How do you feel working at the embassy? Not to do with anything, but just the atmosphere alone. And I tell them that it's a great ambience. It's very diplomatic. It's been a great journey for me because with looking at the kind of environment, I'm always able to compose myself in the best way possible, because there are people coming in and going out all the time, and these are very high profile people. And it also has helped me to know how to present myself. It's one thing keeping your composure, it's another thing knowing how to present yourself to these people that you meet all the time, or from time to time. And of course, I have had a great improvement in my French. And I admit that because I had not really tailored the French to that professional aspect, with the use of certain terminologies and understanding them, communicating them in the best way possible. So my French has also improved at that level. What else do I touch on?
So some of the organizations and opportunities for Ghanaians
Oh yeah, yes. Thanks for the reminder. So aside from the level of the students, Campus France, there is the CCE. CCE is the economic aspects of, or the economic arm of the embassy. There is IFD, it's a developmental organization. There is FAGA. I hope I can include FAGA here. FAGA is the alumni body of French and Ghanaians, or Ghanaians who have had French experiences, who have been engaged with France in any way. That's furthering masters, PhD, year abroad, volunteer programs, and others. Once you have had the chance to engage with the Embassy of France or France as a country itself in any way, they are considered as an alumnus. So you can always join FAGA. So you are a member of FAGA automatically, just as I am.
Yeah, FAGA.
Yes. Yeah. And then there is another agency, which is France Volontaire. France Volontaire handled or managed by one of my colleagues. He is a person of Ofuga, very known, very well known because he interacts also with students as well. And the office is just close by Campus France, same premises. That's why, yes, France Volunteer is also gaining popularity now. So students go to visit Campus France, and then in one way or the other, they get to meet the officers at France Volunteer as well. France Volunteer, for Ghanaians especially, presents opportunities for Ghanaians to travel outside Ghana to France, sometimes to other destinations other than France, but especially France. It's more of an exchange program. So French students and young people or the youth travel to Ghana, and Ghanaian young people also travel to France. Mm-hmm. And it's a way of cultural exchange and some form of immersion. It's for sometimes 3 months, sometimes 6 months, other times a year, depending on the program and what's presented at a particular time. So there is camping. People get to work in informal settings, or maybe sometimes formal settings like a school, teach little kids in English or have interaction in so many ways. The packages are many, and so it's tailored to what or the taste of the student or what France Volunteer plans for at a particular time. Yeah, so basically that's it. There are lots of other institutions in Ghana which are economic based, like companies that are French companies working in Ghana, providing employment for even more than 1,000 people, Ghanaians, the economic. So these French companies based in Ghana offer a lot of employment opportunity.
So still coming back to those of you who keep saying, what am I going to do with French? Things have changed. Right? Even those of us.
And you know something, just the sorry.
Okay, continue, please. Let me hear you.
Okay, so just the icing on the cake. Last about 3 weeks ago or so, I had a call in from a friend that, oh, you can speak French. There's this global community that is coming up with a pageantry, but it's not beauty, sort of not just beauty pageant. It's an industry-based pageant. And this colleague recommended the link to me. I checked them out, and then I was like, okay, this is going to be good. Maybe I'm not up for pageantry, but just because of the French, I'm going to take the opportunity and make good use. And the nuance of this whole thing, the reason I want to tell your viewers about this is that there were too many slots for Ghanaians which have already been exhausted. So the person that I got in contact with apparently went through my WhatsApp profile, called me on phone, and then was like, hello, I just realized on your profile that you speak French. Can you represent La Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, or Togo, any French country of your choice, but just those around Ghana? Can you do that for us, please? Can you imagine, Madam Wilma? I'm a Ghanaian and I'm being asked to represent a Francophone country in West Africa. These are some of the opportunities we are talking about. So please hammer that aspect. Those saying that, what am I going to do with French? Reverse that question and then put it better, because it will definitely come back rolling over more than you yourself can ever dream of, with wonderful opportunities.
So viewers, you had everything yourselves, right? As I keep telling people, the opportunities with French are so much, and in our time we didn't have campus funds and all of those things. So for some of us, some of our dreams could not come true at that time because of that. But knowing very well, even without having my dreams as I wanted it to be, knowing very well what I've still benefited from the French language, I want to push people into those opportunities. I want people to know about those opportunities. Campus France, I went to France. My parents had to pay the school fees. We didn't even know which country, the city that we're going to. Now, Campus France gives you all the information that is required. If there's a room for scholarship, you get all of that. Nyamiti scholarship. And nowadays the opportunities are more, and I really want people to, access it. That is why I keep hammering it. I'm not trying to tell Ghanaians not to be Ghanaians anymore. I'm trying to tell you that even though you are Ghanaian and though you can still be fully Ghanaian, there are some opportunities with the French language. So make sure that you are adding it as an extra skill to every other skill that you have. Right. So please, just for you to round it up, est-ce que vous avez des conseils pour nos téléspectateurs? Est-ce qu'il y a des conseils avant de finir, ou bien si vous pouvez conclure tout ce que vous avez dit? Any advice for our viewers or any conclusion for us with regards to everything you said?
Oui, tout à fait. J'ai des conseils pour nos observateurs. Of course, I have a great advice for our viewers out there. Ce que je veux dire, c'est que le français, la France comme un pays, avec la langue française, présente beaucoup des opportunités. Pas des opportunités, tout simplement, mais des opportunités vraiment prestigieuses. France, as a country, with its language French, presents us Ghanaians in this context with a lot of wonderful opportunities, very prestigious opportunities. I'm going back to the French. You see how I'm taking you all to French and English, French and English? They will say that it's chic, it's beautiful, it's nice. As Madame Wilma does, I do the same, and you can also do it. Okay, so aside from work, just being able to speak French, cela aide à nous présenter comme une personne vraiment importante. Quand on considère l'Union européenne, when we consider the European Union in Ghana, it's not just France. There's Germany, there is Spain, there is Italy, other countries. Once you have French as a skill, as Madame Wilma says, it's going to put you at a very strategic point. Sometimes, even working with other countries, here in Ghana, you would be asked to have French as an add, and then they always put it that it's a plus for you. So, quand tu es présenté avec l'opportunité d'apprendre le français, grab it, learn hard, put in your best, commit to it, be determined. Of course, ce n'est pas toujours facile. Parfois, c'est un peu difficile, mais ce n'est pas difficile. It's just a challenge. It's not always difficult. It's just a challenge, and you can always overcome it. If you are able to overcome the challenge, you will come out a better person. And you know something? Quand tu deviens un bilingue, you become a bilingual. Even when you're walking in the street, people think you are a diplomat. That's one mystery and secret I will tell you. Quand tu apprends le français, alors avec l'anglais, on considère que tu as un diplôme. Peut-être c'est pas ça, but you are seen as a diploma. And that's a plus upon another plus. This is what I'm going to leave our viewers with. If there is anything more, maybe some other time we'll talk about it.
Oh,
thank you, Madam Wilma.
Thank you so much. So she's saying that you've had it, she translated it. When you are able to speak French, in addition to your English, people think you are a diplomat because such people are rare to find. Such people are rare to find. Even in one of the companies that I taught, I taught managers and all of that, and sometimes the level of respect that you're receiving from people at that level, it felt so cool because of the French language, right? Generally, people respect teachers, if I should put it that way, but it felt great that such people, like in those places, they are learning from you. You are teaching them and they're able to speak, and because of that, they have a lot of respect for you. It actually feels good, and it really felt good. And not just that, I've been teaching adults online, a lot of them online, and it's the same feeling, right? So French really, it places you on a pedestal. It's a high pedestal. So please, let's all take advantage and learn the language. Now, before I wrap up, let me say, please subscribe. I was supposed to have said this at the beginning, eh? Please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, there are so many videos, learning videos for children, learning videos for adults, and then this inspiring journey of Ghanaians who have learned French and are making impact with it. This is the fifth of it, right? So if you have not watched any of them yet, please just watch them and you'll be motivated to learn the French language. Let me also add that you have to look out for me on Facebook. It's Wilhelmina Dakwa on Facebook and Instagram, and my business page, Achiever Success Hub. With Achiever Success Hub, we are promoting the language French. We are promoting the learning of French without throwing away your culture. I keep saying that because people from the start, people kept telling me, oh, you're teaching a foreign language. You let the children not come and see. Go and watch my videos and see my students. It's not just about French. It's about being able to speak French or express yourself in French while still holding on to your Ghanaian culture. And you would love that. And just to wrap it up, on 12th October in Takwari, just because I'm in Takwari, much of my work is online. Online people have been enjoying so much, but Takwari people don't want to enjoy. So I'm giving them a chance. 12th October, we are having our Françomonde speaking webinar. Please, it's just 100 cities. 100 cities. Like sometimes because of my low rate, people think that what we are offering is not. It's just because I want a lot of people to be able to get the French language as an asset. Okay, so the fact that Madam Wilma and then Achiever Success have our rates are low, it doesn't mean we are offering something low. It's just because for a long time French has been for a certain class. You must be in the elite class. What about the people who are average income earners or low income earners who will not be able to afford the huge sums? All that we are trying to do is to make French learning accessible, easy, and effective for everyone, no matter where you are. So please, 100 cities doesn't mean that you're not going to get the worth. Those who came for the online one enjoyed it so much that they started learning with us. So if you're in Takrady and you have not heard of Madam Wilma and you have not looked for Achiever Success Hub, please. People outside Takrady are enjoying and they're even jealous of you. But you are not minding me. Hey, don't do that to me. So 12th October, Sunday, 12th October, we are having a French speaking webinar. We're going to teach you strategies on how to speak French, things that will motivate you to speak French, tips that will let you realize, it's not as easy, it's not as difficult as we thought it was. It is difficult, but with experience. I've learned French for almost 30 years, so almost 30 years. I started learning French. I'm not able to really get the year. It was either 1996 or 1997. So imagine all these years of experience that I'm bringing to you. And not just that, I've been teaching French for the past 10 years. Okay, so I have a lot of experience when it comes to the learning of French. And that is what I want to share with you. Not just learning, but being able to speak. At Achiever Success Hub, we focus on your ability to speak the French language. So please, those of you in Takari, just 100 cities, it's 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. We will have discussions, we network with people who are also learning to speak French. It's more like giving you a platform to speak the French language. Also, as I said, guys, subscribe to this channel. And not just that, we have a WhatsApp channel as well that you can subscribe to. So just follow me on my various social media pages, and then we'll go on from there. Merci beaucoup, Mademoiselle Esther Clare. C'est un grand plaisir de t'avoir accueilli ici. J'espère vous revoir à l'ambassade, ou bien peut-être à Takwari encore, because we are both Takwari girls. So thank you so much.
Merci de m'avoir accueilli.
OK.
Avec plaisir.
Comment? Tu as dit quoi?
Avec plaisir. C'était super l'interview.
Hi guys, so see you next time, and make sure that by the time we meet again, you'll be speaking French like us, if not like us, at least to a little extent, right? Au revoir.